relationship between violent video games and war. Absolutely. Again, this is just a correlational study. This by itself doesn't prove that playing violent video games causes individuals to behave violently. And in fact, if anything, we know that people with aggressive personalities turn out to be especially likely to play violent video games. We of course also know there are gender differences in playing violent video games, and that are significantly more likely to do that than women. But to answer this causal or correlational question, they also did an experimental study. So in this true experimental paradigm, they recruited participants and randomly assigned them. So you randomly assign them, right? Get rid of all those individual differences in aggressive personality, right? We don't let you self-select into the Wolfenstein violent video game condition or the game Myst. Has anyone played these games, by the way? Wolfenstein versus Myst? Myst, yeah. Fairly non-violent, supposed to be more strategic versus Wolfenstein 3D, I guess, violent. I have not played that one myself, personally. So, Wolfenstein says they may be monsters. So what did they do? So they had them play these games, and then afterwards, they actually did a series of two separate studies. The first study, they just measured aggressive thoughts. So how did they do this? Essentially, it was a reaction to attacks, where they're shown on the computer these series of words, but the words sort of slowly come into focus. And they have to press a key as soon as they figured out what that word is. Is this making sense? So you're not really sure what the word is, and as soon as you think you know what the word is, you press a key. They also then measured actual aggressive behavior. So they put participants in a situation where they were competing with a fellow other participant, allegedly competing with a fellow other participant. Of course, this was all set up so that they would win and lose X number of times. Now, when they win a round, they get to choose a form of, well, they don't get to choose a form of punishment. There is a form of punishment that they allocate to the loser. So they get to blast that loser with some noise. They do get to choose the volume and the intensity, the length of time they blast that person with noise. That's supposed to be this aggressive type of video. Is this making sense? You're probably wondering, how does this measure aggressive thoughts? Well, some of those words are aggressive types of words, like violence, angry, versus some are non-aggressive types of words. So the question is, are they quicker to identify words that are aggressive versus non-aggressive? Is this making sense? So, what did they find? So, first of all, they did find a significant effect of game type on the extent to which aggressive thoughts are accessible. For instance, here we've got the aggressive accessibility score. They sort of centered it around here behind me, essentially. As you can see, in the violent condition, aggressive thoughts were significantly more accessible. Those aggressive-related words were quicker to be perceived by these participants than those less aggressive participants. Is this making sense? Turns out this aggressive word accessibility is what then explained this effect, which was also statistically significant. Okay, it's not a huge effect, we're only talking about 6.65 versus 6.85. This was the measure of intensity of that noise blast that they gave their fellow competitor. So yes, it is statistically significant. It's not huge, but what's interesting is it's explained by this effect, right? So the reason they actually conducted mediation analyses showed statistically that the extent to which those aggressive thoughts were accessible was what was explaining their increased aggressiveness after having watched that or played that violent video versus that violent video. Does this make sense? All right. So it appears know how, right? I've seen this aggressive behavior. Right. I mean, the study we just reviewed really strongly supports the priming explanation, right? They were primed with violence, and so literally, you guys know what priming is, right? It's the increased accessibility of thoughts. Well, we increase the accessibility of aggressive thoughts. So when they're in a situation where aggression is a plausible outcome, it makes it more likely, right? Again, it's not always the case that having been primed with something is going to have this direct effect on our behavior, but given the right situational parameters, let's talk a little bit about desensitization. You guys remember back in intro to psych, a really basic form of learning is habituation. Anyone remember what habituation is? Did you want to try it? Right, and it turns out it affects us, right? More specifically, it has to do with repeated exposure. So, more specifically, it's decreased responsivity due to repeated exposure, right? Decreased sensitivity to a stimuli due to having been repeatedly exposed to it, right? I always give the example of my friend who moved close to the trains in Chicago, and I always sort of wondered, how does she sleep at night with these trains going past her window all the time? And she said, well, yeah, at first it bothered me, but now I don't notice it at all. She's probably gotten habituated to it. She's gotten essentially desensitized to it. My dad, for instance, of course, we grew up on a farm, and I remember at first he really didn't have a system for killing chickens. We just sort of did it kind of haphazardly. You know what happens when a chicken gets its head cut off, right? It continues to move and flap around, and I have this vivid image of my sister being chased by this headless chicken. So it was really interesting. But, and at first this kind of thing bothered him. It was like kind of upsetting to watch, animals die at your own hands, that kind of thing. But he eventually got the system down. It was real clean. He developed this mechanism for it. And he said over time it just really didn't even affect him anymore. At first this killing did, and now not so much, right? So I think clearly he got habituated or desensitized to that type of thing. So there is evidence for desensitization or habituation. And we know that this is true also for media violence. For instance, people who watch lots of boxing matches don't respond as much physiologically while watching a boxing match as people who don't watch a lot of boxing matches. Me, I don't see it much, so if I saw it one time, that would probably be upsetting to watch someone get knocked out or something like that, right? Versus if I see it over and over, that's just simply less upsetting. Okay. So these are fairly good and plausible explanations for the split you tend to see between watching violent TV and aggressive behavior. I guess a question I have for you guys is, what do you think the implications should be for this type of effect? We live in a society where it's probably worse to have nudity and sex on TV than it is to have violence on TV. In fact, we have plenty of violence on TV. I would probably even argue that your parents are a lot more comfortable watching The Terminator with you. Right? I'm glad I'm going to say that's probably the case. Can't imagine watching porn with my family. Right? But, I've seen The Terminator with my dad, right? So, I don't know what you guys think. I mean, this research suggests that maybe watching The Terminator has a effect. Or should we put, for instance, more restrictions on television, what we allow to be produced or transmitted via
I think it shouldn't be up to the government. I think it should be up to the parents. They want to allow it.
Sure.
On the same level as they want.
watching violent TV on their behavior. It doesn't just have a correlation, it does appear to have some causal relationships. But it turns out there comes to be a point in a child's life where try as we might as parents, it's not going to happen. And it turns out it's around adolescence where, yeah, you can say, we're not allowed to watch that rated R movie, and it just won't matter. They will perhaps even be more likely to do it because that perceived freedom being threatened. So your parents had a really good technique there, right? I will let you decide and live with the consequences as opposed to I will tell you, right? And we also so maybe have communication with your children, right? Clearly this isn't appropriate, let's talk about it. It's a good point. I mean, I think you guys are on target. To what extent can we really fully monitor it? I will say, you know, it's great, the notion of let's leave it up to the parents to not let their kids decide, watch that kind of stuff. Of course, is everyone a good parent? I wish so, right? But the kind of research that I do suggests otherwise, right? Unfortunately, child abuse, neglect, child sexual abuse, that kind of stuff just happens. So yeah, parents are sometimes going to let their kids watch things that they probably shouldn't let them watch. So, I don't know. I guess. What extent should we interfere with people's rights? That's true. All right. Any other questions, though, about this relationship between media violence and aggression before we shift gears? Okay. So let's talk about additional causes or situational influences on aggression. And to preview, all of these up here at once. To preview, it turns out all of the research we've really been suggesting so far, and will be reviewing, suggests that if we're going to be aggressive as humans, we tend to require provocation. For instance, in the study that we just reviewed, the only way they could assess aggression was by putting participants in a situation in which they could aggress. They told them, when this person loses, you must blast them. That's up to you about how hard you do that, right? But they essentially had to have a situation. They had to be provoked in some way. So that's going to be a theme in all of this research that we'll be reviewing. But to preview these additional situational influences on our aggressive behavior, include things like aggressive cues. We'll talk about why that might matter. Pain and discomfort. Turns out that matters a lot. And then finally, we'll talk about this frustration aggression cue. A big pervasive predictor of behavior aggressive. But first, let's talk about aggressive cues in our environment. Of course, one of the most pervasive effects we find in the aggression-related research is the weapons effect. Has anyone heard of the weapons effect? A couple people. Good. Essentially, the weapons effect is where we respond at increased levels of aggression, respond more violently, when in the presence of a weapon. The mere presence of a weapon, we don't have to be holding it, we can literally just see a weapon, be in a room with a weapon. It doesn't even have to be a real weapon, but simply the mere presence of a weapon increases our levels of aggression. I will say only under conditions of provocation. So only under situations in which aggression is an appropriate outcome possible. So for instance, in this one's experiment, Berkowitz and Page experimentally manipulated whether or not the participants were insulted by Confederates, frustrated versus not frustrated, provoked versus not provoked. That was one independent variable. The second independent variable was really cross, which means subject design, was the presence of a weapon. So either there was a toy gun in that room, yeah, it's going to be a real one, or a badminton racket. And then they put participants in a situation where they were allowed to shock a loser if they lost this game. And they measured the number of shocks that they allocated to that loser. more likely to pull the trigger. Okay? Also, what does this research suggest that we should probably do in that situation? Right. Don't say bad things about them necessarily. Don't give them an extra reason to shoot you. Obviously, you can only do what you can do. I would recommend giving them the wallet, right? And using them. Absolutely don't provoke them necessarily if they're already in the presence of something that might be aggressive. Of course, what do you suppose is the explanation for this effect? Why would the mere presence of a weapon make us more likely to behave aggressively? Possibly. So maybe it has to do with the target who's holding the weapon. Yeah.
It could be associated aggression with a weapon. So it's like a crime.
Oh, sure. Right? I think that's probably what's going on, at least in this experiment, right? Because these people aren't even holding the toy, badminton, or gun. It's just laying around there. It's just a cue in your environment. I remember as a graduate student, one of the paintings in the psychology building, actually it wasn't a painting, it was a photograph of two men simultaneously punching one another. It was a really kind of cool photograph because they were both in the midst of being punched by one another. It was very interesting. But every time I walked past it, I just thought, I wonder if I'm being primed to be aggressive at this point in my life, right? Or this is priming lots of people to behave aggressively. But again, maybe it only matters. Right? They go in, see this, then get a bad grade, then maybe that's a bad thing, right? Maybe provoke them. But yeah, absolutely, probably is that presence of a gun that primes those aggressive thoughts. And then when they're in a situation where aggression is relevant, those aggressive thoughts are already there and easily accessible, aggression is going to come. Does this make sense? Turns out another less related effect, but does have to do with weapons, is what do you suppose happens to our eyewitness accuracy if the eyewitness was being held up at that point? If there was a gun involved in the crowd versus no gun involved in the crowd. Well, they're going to be less accurate, probably not due to the priming of violence, but because where do your eyes go when you're held up at gunpoint? You're looking at the gun, right? It turns out that eyewitness accuracy does decrease whenever a gun is involved.
They don't actually store it. Actually, after what's going to make it more aggressive, so they'll react more aggressively.
Possibly. So maybe there is an overlap or spillover effect of the increased levels of aggression. And what we think also it has to do with probably increased or elevated rates of excitation, right? Sensitization, that type of stimuli, and that allows you, or basically doesn't allow you to see the other circumstances going on, or the other situational constraints to that situation. I guess this is a little less related to our aggression conversation. But, so we have one cue in our environment. Of course, weapons probably make a difference, but although we know that weapons make a difference, you can sort of imagine that we can probably find similar effects of other similar related aggressive cues in our environment. I've seen the show Whitney. I don't know if you guys have seen that new show, Whitney. She always wears a little gun necklace. That's what I always wondered. She's priming herself every day. Wakes up in the morning with a gun necklace. Things to think about, I guess. Another very common, very pervasive effect we find in the literature is a relationship between pain and aggression. For instance, this is just one of many studies that show that as heat increases, the number of aggravated assaults, this is happens to be in Dallas, Texas, also increases. Of course, we're feeling less comfortable when it's really hot outside. You know? Around here, we're feeling good, but up here, not quite as good. And it turns out that discomfort absolutely tends to be associated with aggression. phenomenon by any means. In fact, Shakespeare sort of aptly suggested just this. You guys are familiar with Romeo and Juliet. Blood is hot, or the day is hot, blood will be spilled, something to that effect. Basically predicted that this is a hot day, people are going to get mean. And they did. So it turns out, I mean, this is just a really interesting effect. Of course, it's not a true experiment. It could be additional things going on. Of course, you know, what we have to do, we have to actually experiment and manipulate physical pain, which maybe to some extent we can do, possibly. I'm not sure what IRB would really like, but it suggests that it is indeed a relationship. We also find, for instance, oh, go ahead, just.
Would that work, like, okay without being conscious, they were just extremely because I know there's some people, like, being at gay people, so since it's below 30 degrees, actually become really a person. So, I mean, could you also say, like, for some people, maybe they get more aggressive because it's cold, so when the people are like, it's not cold, because the both causes stuff.
Sure. I would say that would be what the theory would suggest. I'm less familiar with studies exploring coldness on our aggression, because we've got apparently more studies exploring the relationship between increased levels of temperature and aggression. But I would bet that the same thing would happen. We look at those extremes, right?
Plus, there's also seasonal weather, which usually in winter it's hard, so that could also increase aggression.
Absolutely. And that makes sense too, in line with what the chemical relationship we find between chemicals expression. Serotonin levels, for instance, predict depression or aggression, not just depression, which we know is involved in seasonal absolutely. So we found not only this, in fact, we've sort of replicated this type of pattern in a horn honking experiment. So for instance, in this study, they assessed the relationship between temperature and time spent holding down on the horn. So not just number of horn honks, but how long people are honking the horn. And you find a pretty significant effect here. And in fact, you find the effect is also perhaps even stronger if what you do is you control for whether or not the car has air conditioning. So in this study, what they did was they basically measured the time spent honking the horn and compared it to cars that had air conditioning versus cars that didn't. Now, this was just a guess, but this was in a hot environment in which some of the cars had the windows rolled down. So those would be presumably the cars without air conditioning. Some of the cars had the windows rolled up, probably not fully clean, but again, a fairly pervasive effect. I was going to say, there's always going to be people like that. Okay, well, we should also talk about location effects in terms of horn honking. Absolutely. Exactly. Probably, I remember moving to Chicago and getting startled every time someone would honk. Oh my gosh. And it's sort of, you know, I was from a rural area where honking just didn't happen. And I quickly learned that, yeah, they honked when they're mad at you, but they also honk just to say, hey, I'm here, don't hit me. So it's not always this mean kind of thing, it's just honking is the norm in that big city. And so, you know, quickly I'm honking my horn and doing everything, and then I come to Evansville and lay on the horn and realize, oh, I'm kind of alone with this horn honking situation. So I have to sort of rein it back in. But it turns out that isn't just anecdotal, it turns out there's experimental research that shows that horn honking does correlate with our environment. So for instance, in one experiment, what they did was they had a person two people sitting in a car, one was the driver, one was the timer. And what they did was they stopped at a red light and they essentially waited until someone behind them would honk. So how did I agree? I meant that. So they stopped at a red light, and then when the light turned green, they didn't move. So the question was, how long will it take for the guy behind us to honk? It turned out in Chicago, it was pretty quick. We were letting you know fairly fast. It was less than a second. New York, less than a half a second. It was, you know, the second that turned green. Literally less than the second it turned green to land on the horn. Exactly. Well, they don't care. They're anticipating that yellow light, and you should know, you should already jurors, people like you and me, decide whether or not a defendant is guilty versus innocent. After that decision is made, it's up to the judge to determine the sentence length, the sentence severity. Jurors don't determine sentences. They do only in death penalty cases when it's life or death. But when it's not death penalty cases, judges decide life, jail, 10 years, so and so, right? Does this make sense? Okay. So they found that when judges were hungry, they sentenced the defendant to a longer time in jail than when they were less hungry. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Bring brownies to your court meeting. Yes, yes.
So we, with my new studio in high school, we kind of did, it wasn't a real experiment, but throughout the season, if we did a certain dance later, or like farther away from meal time, that the judges, we scored lower. And like one time we did it like right after the lunch break, and that was the highest score we got was 6.
Interesting. Oh, that's I bet that really could be explored as a true effect. Yeah, you should. Although you should not give them directly, but lay them around there and then just walk away. It wasn't me who didn't want to be biased to come across as bragging judgment. Absolutely. I would say also, this is a little less related, but a study that one of my graduate school friends conducted while in grad school. What he did was we were all teaching assistants at the time, so we would teach various sections. For instance, introductory psychology would have 500 plus students in one class. So they all meet in a lecture hall 2 times out of the week, and then 1 time out of the week, the TA teaches them. Different sections. The TA would teach maybe like 3 or 4 or 5 different sections of 20 students in their class. Is this making sense? Okay, so we've got lots of, and so it's nicely controlled too for teacher. So what my friend did was he randomly assigned certain classes that certain TAs were teaching to either have someone walk in and say, hey, sorry to interrupt you guys, I just happen to have this leftover chocolate that I just don't want, if I think I'm going to eat it. So I thought we could just give it to your students. So they either did that or they didn't do that. And so it wasn't like it was coming from the teacher or anything, it was coming from a total stranger who just happened to walk in the classroom on the day of teaching evaluations. And it turned out that students who got chocolate from an unrelated person, a stranger, on the day of teaching evaluations, thought that the class taught them significantly more. The teacher was significantly more effective at teaching. It just had pervasive effects on literally every single variable in that teaching evaluation. I'm so tempted to come up with it now. I'm just joking. Not going to manipulate you guys. Of course, now it wouldn't work, right?
The same teacher and just different classes.
Exactly. So that was what was cool about it, is you could control for teachers. So they actually had multiple different teachers, but again, the teacher would teach lots of classes. So yeah,
So just for a study where about something where a last year laughed and spotted and watched the professor because on his room. She wanted to actually got him out of the room because he was trying to get responses.
interesting. Sounds like they're awkwardly conditioning that professor. Were they doing that on purpose?
I think so, yeah. Everyone together and they all
Continue to do whatever.
look down.
When I'm over here, things are good.
On that side, nobody went to the other side. They would laugh and pay more attention.
Interesting. I can see that happening, right? That's amusing. That's right. All right. Okay. Question so far though about the aggression thing. I think this is a fairly intuitive thing that we can probably all relate with. I will say, I always talk about in my introductory psychology class where we talk about hormones and the body's biorhythms. I always talk about menstruation, for instance, as famous classic 30-day biorhythm, and how it turns out that although there's, you guys have heard of premenstrual syndrome, right? PMS, which is supposed to happen right before the menstruation starts, right? There's supposed to be essentially increased levels of aggression. Turns out, I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's actually very little, in fact, I know of no evidence for PMS. And in fact, one study actually didn't find it, so they tested it by, for instance, asking participants to keep track of their moods daily. So for instance, they carry around these little buzzers with them. Every time the buzzer would go off, they'd have to report on the scale, their happiness, their depression, their mood, essentially. This little survey. So they would do this throughout the months in continual measures. Men would do this, women would do this. And then, after the month was over, they would have participants retrospectively report their moodiness. And women would report feeling more moody and irritated before their period, right? Because that makes sense, that's in line with PMS. But it turned out their actual self-reports taken at the time of PMS did not predict what they thought they would be feeling. There was actually no relationship between their actual moodiness and when they should be moody, according to when they would have had PMS. And in fact, the variation in moodiness among women was the exact same as the variation in moodiness among men. So there's really no difference in moodiness between either groups of people. Which sort of makes you wonder, is there really such a thing as PMS? Yeah.
Most people like depression and discomfort thing should be
I was going to say what they should have done is instead of testing it right before, which is when PMS should happen, should have tested it during. Right. Maybe I've discounted PMS, but I haven't discounted what happens during that time. Yeah.
But do they try to compare moods at the same time every day when they mix it up? And also, I mean, what do they have? Because you can't really do like, I don't know, like periods just happen. So I feel like they would have to be somehow not going somehow. That's where they would also self-report. And if they would self-report, oh, I don't know if that's starting to be. So I'm gonna say I'm feeling more upset.
So maybe their retrospective